Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Hotter than yesterday.
Yeah.
Tell me when the railroad comes through to bring ice. That's what Mr. Kendall says. Ice in the summertime.
That Kendall is all right.
Yeah. Do you buy much stock in that railroad?
Oh, like everybody. Looks like trouble.
Boy, that's the surveyor. What's the matter? What happened?
Indians. Where? Yellow Canyon, Mr. Kendall.
Well, that's just 5 miles away.
Well, it's far enough away for Jim Bledsoe. He's out there yet with an arrow in him. Sheriff, those Redskins were led by a white man.
Rick, what happened?
Oh, we've been wiped out again, Mr. Herbert.
Indians.
They came through the canyon, yelling and shooting and wrecking our equipment. Jim Bledsoe tried to save my transit and got an arrow in the back. Andy took a bullet in the side.
What were you saying about a white man?
It was about 5 minutes after they went through. Suddenly, at the mouth of the canyon, another Indian appeared. There was this white man with him. He was a big fellow, wearing a mask, riding the finest horse I've ever seen.
Well, where were you when you saw all this?
I was heading out through the cross canyon with Andy. They didn't see me.
You fire on them?
I didn't even fire at the Indians. My rifle jammed at the first shot.
What do you think?
Well, to tell you the truth, Mr. Kendall, I'm not a bit surprised. I can figure Indians fighting to keep the railroad from coming through, and, well, there just might be a white renegade showing them how to stop it.
Oh, he's done a good job. We're just about stopped.
No, we're not. You give me enough guards and some new equipment, and I'll complete that survey.
We've had nothing but trouble since we began this thing. And trouble costs money. And money is something we're running fast out of.
But we can't give up.
Oh, we're not going to give up, Rick. As stockholders, we can request that someone else be placed in charge of this railroad. Someone with enough gumption to fight back. Now, I'm going to write a few letters about that.
Now, just a minute, Kendall. It would seem that I would have something to say about
Say, you know, Kendall's right. Somebody else should represent the stockholders.
If you make up a posse to go after that renegade, I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know about it.
Want me to get some of the boys and tend to this? I know Yellow Canyon like my hand.
Yeah, well, then you should know it's 2 miles beyond our county borders. Say, I'll bet that renegade knew that, too. Outside our bailiwick, son.
Then no posse.
No posse.
Oh, but I still don't understand, Mr. Kendall, you threatening to have me replaced when, after all, you maneuvered me into the job in the first place.
Yeah, but they don't know that out here.
Then why replace me now?
Listen, Herbert, when things go wrong with a railroad, somebody's got to be the goat. This time, you're elected. Now, it's the only way to keep the stockholders from asking too many questions. I can't have them finding out about me.
Yeah, I know, but who are you going to get to replace me?
Oh, whoever the stockholders choose, doesn't matter much. They'll have as much trouble as you did trying to get this railroad finished. My boys will see to that. That must be some of them reporting in now. You better go back to your office. Now, don't feel bad. You've done a good job. Just sit tight. Just sit tight till they kick you out, and after that, I'll take care of you.
Thanks, Mr. Kendall.
Hello, boys.
Everything went over just fine, boss. We smashed everything. Equipment, supplies, the whole works. Things got a little rough, though. Jim Bledsoe's dead and Andy Carlisle's wounded.
Yeah, I know. I just saw him.
There wasn't much the sheriff could do about it. It happened outside his jurisdiction.
Well, whatever the sheriff decides to do, my stooge in his office will let me know. Don't worry about that. Rick Merrill claims he saw a white man with the Indians.
Did you tell him he was crazy?
No, but it's clear it wasn't you he saw. Will you take the rest of that war paint off your neck and from behind your ear? Or do you want the whole town to know that you were made up as an Indian?
Sorry, boss.
Then none of you went along just wearing a mask.
Boss, I told you we were Indians, even down to riding with no saddles.
Then Merrill is lying. But why should he lie?
He's lying, all right. We came tearing into that canyon like a sure enough war party. We cut loose with arrows and carbines and then dusted out again. He didn't see anybody that looked like a white man, mask or no mask.
Then why should he lie? Which one of you killed Jim Bledsoe?
All of us, Kendall. And we get our orders from you.
What do you mean? He just means don't try any funny business, that's all.
You may be able to double-cross the rest of the county on this railroad deal. Tain't no skin off our nose. But if you try to double-cross us...
Doc, don't let the fancy clothes fool you. I ain't never lost a fight. This or any other kind. And there's nothing out here in your big, wide, Willie West that's big enough to change it. All right. Now keep your eyes open. If you see any more of this masked hombre, just let me know.
We find plenty sign, Kemo Sabe, but lose it in water.
That's a little odd. Indians don't usually try to cover up their trail after an attack.
Not Indian attack. Him killed by arrow. More arrows here or there. But Indians not do this.
How do you know?
Horses wear shoes. White man knew this, Kemo Sabe. Them may be dressed like Indian, paint like Indian.
They forgot that Indians don't shoe their horses.
Them make other mistakes, too. Them smash surveying equipment and leave it behind. If Indian do job, them take equipment with them.
You're right, Tonto. That would also explain why this poor fellow Jim Bledsoe still has his scalp. A war party would have taken it.
No war party, only white man.
Yes, white men in disguise. That means planning, organization.
But white man want railroad.
Not all white men, Tonto. Outlaws don't. Railroads would open up the West. There'll be more people, more marshals, more law and order.
That's right, Kemo Sabe.
Doc Weston lives in this community. He's the man who helped us when we were in Red Pine.
You think him knows something?
He'll have some idea if we have a talk with him. We'll ride into town.
Well, the other bandage was on there for 3 hours. Looks like you're just about to stop bleeding.
How soon you reckon I'll be on my feet again?
Just as soon as you're able and not before.
Andy, did you get in a rifle shot at those Indians?
Oh, rifle jammed, I reckon. Time I could blaze away with my 6-shooter, I got plugged.
You hear that, Sheriff? His rifle jammed, my rifle jammed. Jim Bledsoe never knew what hit him, but I suppose his rifle would have jammed, too.
You suppose, Rick, but you don't know.
I know Herbert's a crook.
Why? Because some Indians jumped you and your rifles wouldn't work?
Nobody who wants that railroad finished would talk about quitting just because of what happened today.
Look, son, in order to prove a fraud, you've got to show an intention to defraud. Now, you've been making a lot of charges, but you haven't given us any of Herbert's reasons.
I don't know his reasons. I only know we've had more trouble than ever since he was put in charge. Why, for the last 2 months, we've been robbed, sabotaged, attacked by Indians, everything. Today, I ride in with Andy over my saddle. Jim Bledsoe dead in the canyon. Does Mr. Herbert even act surprised? No, he wasn't even curious. I tell you, he knew about that Indian attack before it happened.
That's pretty wild talk, Rick.
Only because I can't give you reasons.
Why not let me try?
Well, for goodness sake.
Hello, Doctor. Haven't seen you since you helped me in Red Pine.
The renegade. There he is, Sheriff. I told you there was a renegade in that pack.
Keep your hands clear of them guns, mister. Let's see your face.
Sorry, I can't do that.
Well, I can.
I wouldn't try that again.
Now, hold on. I said this man was a friend. And he's a friend of the law as well as mine. And furthermore, this is my house. If he chooses to wear a mask and hasn't committed any crime, that's his business and mine. Now, simmer down, everybody. Where's Tonto?
He's outside by the window. You'd better put up your gun, Sheriff.
But he has committed a crime. He was with those Indians. I saw him with that one.
We came along after the attack.
Them not Indians. Them white men disguised as Indians.
Surprised? I wonder if Mr. Herbert would be surprised.
That's what I've been saying. But I can't figure out what he's got to gain by slowing up progress on the railroad.
Maybe I can. Let's look at it this way. What happens to the stock every time there's a new delay in construction?
Why, it keeps going down in value.
Exactly. And if this trouble continues, the stock may drop so low that the stockholders will be willing to sell their stock at any price they can get.
Are you implying that somebody might be trying to force the price of the stock down so they could buy it all up and gain control of the railroad?
That's right. Lock, stock, and barrel.
Well, you think it's Herbert?
No, but I've heard of Herbert before. He's been mixed up in a lot of crooked deals like this. He's usually just the front man for the big operator who gives the orders without letting his identity be known.
Well, how do we find out who really is behind these crimes?
There's just one way, Sheriff. You keep on trying to finish the railroad. That means the man who wants you to fail will try harder than ever to stop you. And sooner or later, he'll give himself away.
Oh.
The sheriff says that masked man is somebody to be afraid of. The sheriff says he thinks fast, acts fast, and never gives up.
I wonder what he's after. He must figure to get something out of this.
Why say that?
Oh, it adds up. Nobody's altruistic. He's probably figured some way to line his own pockets.
Might be honest. I've seen such.
Well, then he's even less a danger. Now, you go back to the sheriff's office and keep your ears open.
You mean to keep on trying to stop him?
I don't quit either.
The whole plan's an improvement. Without Herbert to insist that we do it his way, we'll be able to make better time and a better railroad. Now, look, here's where we are now. And up ahead is Valley Center. Our biggest job, as we know, is to put up that trestle. I think we should put it right here at Cactus Gorge. I figure if we can blow up this hogback, we'll save nearly a mile of track.
Well, Rick, it's done. Herbert's been fired and you've been given his job.
Hey, that's great. Now we can really get going.
You mean I'm head man?
That's right, in full charge, by unanimous vote. Mr. Kendall's chiefly responsible. He's been urging your appointment ever since that blow-up with Herbert. I just met him. He certainly thinks highly of you.
Yeah, I better thank him plenty.
Well, looks like you'll get your chance right now. Here he comes. Sure looks worried about something.
Mr. Kendall, I just heard what you've done
Oh, never mind about that now, Rick. We're in bad trouble. I just got this message from Washington.
What's in that, Rick? What's it say?
Congress has passed a bill canceling a lot of old franchises. This railroad's on the list.
Now, why would they want to do that?
Well, they're trying to curb speculation on rail stocks.
Says if we're not in operation by noon of the 20th of April, we lose our franchise.
You can make that?
Yeah. Nothing goes wrong.
Oh, I'm afraid that's too much to hope for. You know, Herbert is pretty bitter about being fired. And if he's the one that's causing all the trouble, he'll probably redouble his efforts to stop us.
Then we'll have to redouble our efforts not to let him stop us.
Well, I knew you feel that way about it. That's why I wanted to let you boys know about the time limit as soon as possible.
At noon on the 20th. That's a pretty close deadline.
We're going to meet that deadline. I don't know how, but we are.
That's the spirit, Rick. You'll push that railroad through, enemies or no enemies.
Well, I hope you're right. But we'll have to be ready for anything.
We will be.
As soon as we get this equipment ready, I'll start sighting for that hogback we're going to blow up.
Trouble bailing him out of jail?
Had to answer a few questions first. The sheriff and that masked hombre wanted to know who gave me the money for the bail.
You made him think it come from Herbert, huh?
Sure, just like we planned.
Good. That'll fit right in with their suspicions.
I'm sorry for messing things up, but thanks for getting me free.
Get your horse in gear and clear out of the territory.
Rick, my boy, look at that. One more day and we've made it.
That's just one day too few, Andy. This time, we're really beaten.
What happened? Herbert's men wrecked some more of the track?
Worse than that, Andy. Someone blew up our new trestle over Cactus Gorge.
Take us at least a week to build a new one.
Why, them ornery sidewinders are Herbert's.
I still think Herbert's taken his orders from someone else. And so far, that someone has been smart enough not to show his hand.
And why don't the sheriff find out who it is and arrest him, like he oughta?
Whoa, now wait a minute. Take it easy, will you, Andy? You can't go around arresting people unless you have proof that they're guilty of something.
Proof. You ought to be able to smell a polecat a mile off.
It's no use, Andy. We've done our best, but we're licked. Licked by the calendar. In order to make said franchise effective, railroad equipment carrying fare-paying passengers from point of origin Must enter the town limits of Valley Center no later than 12 noon, April 20th. 12 noon, April 20th. That's less than 24 hours off.
Railroad equipment.
Well, that means a locomotive, a tender, and at least one car.
No, it doesn't, Rick. It means whatever the railroad owns is an aid to its operation.
You got scheme, Kemo Sabe?
Yes, Tonto. I want you to take a message to Doc Weston. Tell him the railroad wants a stagecoach, any type and any condition, as long as it has 4 wheels. Tell him we'll need it tonight.
Stagecoach? Of course, sure. If we buy one, it becomes railroad equipment.
That's right, Rick. And the message didn't specify what kind of railroad equipment had to reach Valley Center by tomorrow noon.
You say, if I was you, mister, I'd keep that scheme of yours as quiet as possible. Because Herbert's liable to get wind of it and try and stop you.
You're right, Sheriff. But you'd better notify your deputies in case we need them. But don't let it get beyond them.
You know, I've a hunch we're really going to make it this time.
I know we are.
Hello, Mr. Kendall.
Hello, Meadow. What took you so long? We've been waiting for your report.
Well, the sheriff didn't talk much until this morning, and the report is not so good.
Well, what do you mean? They can't get that trestle fixed in time.
They don't intend to.
Well, how do they expect to get a train to Valley Center by noon today?
But it doesn't have to be a train. The letter only said railroad equipment. And that fellow with the mask is a smart hombre, Kendall. Why, he sent Sam Weston out last night and bought a stagecoach. They're bringing it through not an hour from now.
Don't they ever give up?
What's the matter, boss? We took care of the trestle, didn't we? It ought to be twice as easy to get rid of the little old stagecoach.
Sure. As soon as it leaves for Valley Center, we'll ambush it. There's a good spot at Shadow Rock.
Yeah, but you'll have to take the long way around to get there. You may be seen. I don't think you'll have time.
Well, then we got to stall for time. Where's the coach now?
Down by the construction shed, close to the spot where the trestle was blown up.
Oh, good. I can be there in less than an hour. I'll pay our friends a little visit just to wish them good luck on their journey. Now, that should stall them long enough for you, Pierce, and you, Red, to go down by Shadow Rock. And when you see that stagecoach coming, stop it. I don't care how you stop it, but stop it.
And if it gets by them?
Then you'll be waiting for it outside of Valley Center. I'll join you there. It won't get by us.
How's that look, Tonto? As soon as it dries, I'll hang it on the coach.
No time to wait. It'll be 12 noon plenty soon now. You not drive fast, you lose franchise.
Oh, I can't go too fast. I don't know where Doc Weston got that old box, but it sure is an antique.
You drive only fast enough to stay ahead of bullets.
Maybe there won't be any bullets. Herbert's boss must know when he's licked.
He's not licked until this piece of railroad equipment reaches Valley Center Depot.
Oh, that's less than 2 miles away.
Maybe the longest miles we've ever ridden.
But we've got to make it. Didn't I buy my ticket? Didn't I ride the railroad as far as it'd go? Can't let the last 2 miles stop us.
Hey, wait a minute. Look who's coming. Who?
How are you, boys?
Raring to go. How come you're out this way?
Oh, as a stockholder, I'm merely interested in my investment. I've got to hand it to you, boys. Using that stagecoach is a mighty clever trick to outwit Herbert.
We kind of thought so ourselves.
Oh, I've been wondering, though. Are you sure it's legal?
Well, the franchise says railroad equipment and fare-paying passengers. This is the equipment, and I just paid my fare and rode the train this far.
Oh, reckon that's legal enough. I'm mighty grateful to you, mister. If you hadn't shown up when you did, this railroad never got through in time.
You owe me no thanks. I always try to be around when I'm needed.
Well, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Kendall, we'd better be on our way. We haven't reached Valley Center yet.
Oh, you will this time. I have no doubt of it. It's too late for anyone to stop you.
If they do, we're ready for them. Got a coachload of guns to hold them off with.
Good enough. In that case, I'll be on my way. Safe journey, gentlemen.
Hey, it was mighty nice of Kendall to come out here and wish us luck.
Yes, but didn't it seem odd? He knew just when we were leaving and where he could find us.
I never thought of that.
What are you getting at?
We all agreed not to talk about our plans. Yet Mr. Kendall seemed to know all about them. Sheriff, did you talk to anyone else beside your deputies?
No, shucks, not a soul, and they weren't supposed to say anything about them.
Apparently one of them didn't.
Are you saying that Mr. Kendall is the man who's been trying to stop us all along? Well, I can't believe it.
That's why he's such a clever criminal. I've had my doubts about him for quite a while.
What do you mean, Kemo Sabe?
Remember the telegram about the franchise? Why was it sent to Kendall instead of the officers of his company?
Then you think that he's been pulling the strings behind the scene all the time?
Yes, I'm almost sure of it.
Something tells me we're going to have trouble getting this coach to Valley Center after all.
Yes, probably an ambush. And a bad one, since this will be Kendall's last chance to stop us.
Sure, but we can throw lead too, you know.
No, we're making it too easy for Kendall and his men.
That's right. Even if them shoot wild, we make plenty good targets.
Rick, you know every inch of the road between here and Valley Center. Where's the most likely spot for an ambush?
Well, it's pretty exposed all the way. Only place I'd pick would be Shadow Rock.
Good enough. Andy, you go on with the coach. Tonto, Rick, and I will head for Shadow Rock. If Kendall or his men are there, we may be able to take them by surprise. All right, let's go.
Right.
There are two of them. Tonto, you go that way.
We should have put the war paint and war bonnets on. It worked once, it ought to work again.
Kendall never commits murder the same way twice. That's why I stick with him. It pays. Besides, what could be needed in this? When that coach comes into sight, we just put a few bullets in the horses. It's not going to get to Valley Center if it's got nothing to pull it.
Yeah, but if it's so easy, why is Kendall and that deputy waiting outside of town in case we fail? You'd think he didn't trust us to do the job right.
Kendall doesn't trust anybody. It's safer. Here it comes. Get ready.
Don't move. Nice work, Tonto. So my hunch was right about an ambush. Lucky we got here just in time.
You got us all wrong, mister. We're just sitting there minding our own business.
We hear them say Deputy and Kendall waiting outside town to stop stagecoach.
Yes, I heard that too. Tonto, you and Rick tie these two up. I'll go on ahead. We've got to stop Kendall before he wrecks that coach.
We follow plenty fast.
That outfit's got more lives than a cat. Look at that. Our boys failed again.
Failed plenty and complete, according to the way that stage is taking its time.
Well, they're not in yet. Now you get down there where you can't miss and put some bullets into those horses.
I wouldn't like to do that.
When you take pay for me, mister, you take my orders. And you continue to take them until I have no further use for you. Now get down there and stop that stage before it reaches the township line. Go ahead. Did you come back to argue, Meadow? I told you what to do.
It's too late to do anything, Kendall. I've just taken care of that double-crossing deputy. The stage is finishing its run.
I know it is. That's why I'm here, to see the final success of our enterprise.
It's no use lying, Kendall. We have caught the men you sent out to stop the stage. I think they'll talk plenty if it'll help to save their own skins.
You're smart, mister. But I got a lawyer that's smarter. He'll take care of that. So, you think the stagecoach will finish in time? Would you care to take a little bet?
It's finished. That was the signal.
That was the shot killing the horses.
You're wrong, Kendall. The stage has entered Valley Center Township. The railroad keeps its franchise, and you're finished. Now, let's go.
Come on, Mr. Kendall, please.
Kendall, why don't you be smart like your men and confess? Might make things easier for you.
Oh, I'm not licked yet.
Yeah, well, folks around here think different. You saw how fast they helped me round up Mr. Herbert there. They're going to see that you pay for your crimes, too.
Oh, the folks here are no different than the rubes back east. I'll prove that when I stand up in the courtroom. Don't think I'm finished, gentlemen. I'll be around for a long time.
So will the man who put you behind those bars. That won't be very healthy for you.
You mean that troublemaker?
That's what the crooks call him, Kendall. But the West has a different name for him. You won't feel near so sure of yourself when you hear it. You see, he's the Lone Ranger.
Hail, Silver, hoy!
Be with the Lone Ranger and Tonto same time next week for new dangers in another thrill-packed adventure. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Howdy, Sheriff. What'll it be?
Well, nothing now, Ruby. Just want to ask you a few questions.
Is this official or is it friendly?
Friendly.
Good. For a minute you had me thinking I'd broken one of your dad-burned ordinances.
No, it's about this gang of hooded men that's been operating around here.
How should I know anything about them outlaws?
Running a place like this, you're bound to pick up information.
Between bossing the ranch and bossing this joint, I don't have time to pick up anything but my own 2 feet.
Yeah, I know, Ruby. You have had a hard time since Jed passed on, but this is mighty important.
Look, Hugh, if I knew anything about those hooded coyotes, I'd tell you.
I think Jed knew something.
What do you mean?
Just that. Didn't he ever talk to you about it?
If my husband knew anything about them hooded men, he never passed it on to me. Now quit pestering me and... Just a minute. What can I do for you, Injun?
Me want a cup of coffee.
You got the money?
Me have money.
In that case, step right up to the counter and I'll...
Move on, one of you. Get them off, all of you. I don't want to hear a sound out of any of you.
What do you think you're doing?
Leaving you of your money? Come on, get back up against the wall, all of you. Get over there. Go get it.
Take your hands off my money. I worked hard for that.
Shut up. That'll be enough out of you.
Why, you...
That's better. Hurry up. Anybody else want to try? First man to come out after us is liable to get his head blown off. Well, I'll be seeing you, Sheriff. Yeah, come on.
Well, Tonto, did you find out anything?
Me find plenty. Gang hold up Golden Horseshoe Cafe.
What?
Them take money, then kill man who try to draw a gun and make getaway.
Did they wear hoods?
Them belong to hooded gang, all right.
And they robbed Ruby Creston.
They're plenty angry.
Has Sheriff McNeil organized a posse?
A gang not leave trail, them can follow.
We'd better stay close to camp for a while.
You not give up looking for a hooded gang?
Of course not, Tonto. The West can't grow and prosper until such gangs are wiped out. But if the posse catches sight of us, it'll just complicate the situation.
You wear masks, not hood.
There's not much difference to angry men. Besides, this new holdup has changed our plans. Those rumors that Ruby's husband was tied up with the outlaw gang made me suspicious of her. Now I'm not sure.
Did you lose them?
Sure. How'd it go on this end?
Couldn't be better. Where are the boys?
I'll be along in a minute. I just wanted to get this dough off my hands.
I'll count it later.
Ruby, you wouldn't think that I'd try to pull a double cross on you, would you?
Maybe you wouldn't, Flack. But I'm still gonna count it. Let them in.
Well, Ruby, how did everything go?
Not a hitch, Dusty. Robbing ourselves is the slickest thing we've ever pulled.
It'll certainly keep the law off our trail. Having McNeil in the cafe will just about make everything perfect.
You should have heard me pitch into him.
It was certainly a good idea of yours, Ruby. You know you're better at running the gang than Jed was.
All except killing that guy.
What are you talking about?
You didn't have to kill him.
Well, he tried to draw on me, didn't he?
Sure, but you could have winged him or put him out of commission without killing him.
What difference did it make? He wasn't even a regular customer.
I joined up with you to make some easy money, Ruby. Not to go around killing people just for the fun of it.
You low-down...
Now, hold it, Flack. Listen, you've been with this outfit a month, and already you don't like the way things is being run.
I didn't say that. It's just that I don't like killing people, that's all.
Now, ain't that a shame? Listen, punk. As long as I'm running this outfit, you'll do what I say. And that includes killing, if I tell you.
Well, then consider that I'm quitting as of now.
Nobody quits this gang.
Then I'm going to be the first.
All right. If that's the way you want it. Go out to the ranch and get your gear and get moving.
Are you crazy letting that kid go? He knows enough to hang all of us.
He won't talk.
How do you know he won't?
Because you're going to take the shortcut to the ranch and keep him from it.
Ambush him?
Yeah, there'll always be lead for a quitter as long as I'm running this outfit. Now get started.
That was a shot, Tonto.
Down near road.
Come on.
Outlaw get away.
A man's life is more important. He's still alive.
He'll not live long with a wound like that, Kemo Sabe.
Take it easy, fellow.
I tried to quit the gang.
Well, he's dead.
What gang him talk about?
I don't know, Tonto. Perhaps we can identify him. What's this? There's your answer.
That hood-like man wearing cafe.
A hooded gang. He tried to quit them and they murdered him.
You think we find gang if we trail killer?
He's had a start and plenty of time to cover his trail. Our best bet is to learn this man's identity. Then we can work from there.
You want me to take body into town?
No, they might accuse you of killing him. That's happened before.
What we do then?
I'll dig a shallow grave here. You ride into Woodstock. See what you can learn. I'll meet you at Sly Creek later.
Let me see you there.
A masked man and an Injun, eh?
Well, I got away before they got a good look at me.
And you sure you took care of Bill?
I was so close I couldn't miss.
Good. And don't worry about that masked galoot. He may come in mighty handy.
What do you mean?
Well, somebody's going to be blamed for killing Bill. We might as well try and pin it on him.
Say, Ruby, that's a great idea.
Most of my ideas are great.
Hey, Ruby, the sheriff's outside asking for you.
Don't look so scared, you fool. He's got nothing on us. Tell him I'll be right with him.
Suppose you found Bill already?
Maybe. You'd better stay here while I go and try to find out. Well, did you catch them hooded sidewinders?
No, Ruby, we lost.
Now, if you brought me out here to listen to any lame-brain excuses,
I'm not here to make excuses. I'm looking for that new fellow you had working for you here.
You mean Bill Pittman?
I reckon that's his name.
Well, what's his trouble?
A cowpoke from the Bar C spread found his horse grazing out on the trail.
Why, Bill was taking a message out to the ranch for me. Something must have happened.
That's what I was afraid of. Alan and I will backtrack the horse and see if we can find him.
I'll ride out with you. I hope it's nothing serious. Why, Bill's one of my best hands.
We'd be glad to have you, Ruby, but it's probably just an accident of some kind.
Tain't likely. That kid knows how to handle a horse. I'll be right with you, Sheriff.
Alan, why don't you bring our horses over here?
All right. Any news, Tonto?
Sheriff tell Ruby Creston about horse found along trail. It belonged to a man who worked for her, name of Bill Pittman.
Ruby again, eh?
Me think him young feller who'll get shot.
If that's so, it means one of the hooded gang was working for her.
That not prove Ruby one of gang.
No, but it's more than a coincidence. Don't forget the rumors about Ruby's husband, Jed.
But her have hold up this morning.
Might have been a fake to throw the law off her trail.
If hold up a fake, she plenty clever woman.
Yes, it's about time I had a talk with Ruby.
Her ride with sheriff and deputy to backtrack on horse.
Fine. I want to have a talk with Sheriff McNeil, too. You better hide your gun.
Why me do that?
If my hunch is right about Ruby, she may try some kind of a trick. I want to be ready for her without her knowing it.
Me hide gun on the shirt.
Good. Let's go.
Hey, Sheriff, here's some footprints.
Yeah, 3 sets of them.
Ambushed. The sneaking varmints never gave him a chance.
Those bloodstains?
Yep.
Now, why would anybody want to kill a nice, hard-working guy like Bill?
Well, we don't know that he's dead yet, Ruby. Leastwise, not till we find his body.
1 set leads off in that direction.
Yeah, carrying something heavy, too. Well, looks like we found him, all right.
Skunks even had the nerve to put a cross on the grave.
We better make sure it's Pittman. Come on, the dirt looks loose. I don't think it's very deep.
Nobody who knew Bill would want to kill him. It must have been a stranger.
Sounds logical.
Whoever did it's going to pay for it, and my name's not Ruby Creston.
Take it easy, Alan.
That's the shirt he was wearing. That's Bill.
Yeah, the poor devil. I'll cover him up again. We'll send a wagon out later.
What are you going to do?
Right now, we're going after the 3 varmints who did this killing.
1 varmint, Sheriff. Don't start anything.
Masked.
Who are you?
Friend?
No friend of mine wears a mask.
This mask doesn't mean I'm an outlaw.
Your gun does. You're responsible for this killing?
No, I'm not. We heard a shot and arrived in time to see the killer right away. The dead man was lying in the road.
Was he dead when you found him?
No, he died a moment after we reached him. The only decent thing was to bury him until we found out who he was.
You're lying. You killed him.
If that were true, why would we come back here?
Because the criminal always returns to the scene of the crime. That's why.
Sheriff McNeil knows better than that. Don't you, Sheriff?
I don't know.
The killers would have hidden the grave, wouldn't they?
I suppose so.
You talk straight, Mac. Even if he does wear that mask.
Yeah. All right, mister. Put away your gun. I'll believe you.
Good. I'm glad you do.
You're crazy, Hugh. Bill was one of my best hands. And I'm not going to let his killer smooth talk you into letting him get away.
You kept him pretty busy, didn't you?
You're darn right I did. And what's more, get him up, mister.
Oh, wait a minute, Ruby. Take it easy.
Wait, nothing. You ain't got sense to pour water out of a boot. That hombre's one of the hooded gang.
You're wrong.
Shut up. I'm doing the talking. Take a look at his engine, pal, Hugh.
What about him?
He was in my place just 2 minutes before the robbery. He left right afterwards.
You're right. I thought he looked kind of familiar.
Sure, he was scouting the place. Bill must have run across the 2 of them trying to split up my money.
That's not true.
Saw your partner in the cafe myself. All right, drop your guns. You're under arrest, both of you. Take off his mask. Let's see what he looks like.
Oh, you blasted redskin!
Good work, Tonto. Keep them covered. Sorry you wouldn't believe me, Sheriff.
I'll never believe you're anything but a murdering bandit.
And there's no use wasting any more time. Tonto, pick up their guns.
What are you going to do?
That's for you to worry about, Mrs. Creston.
You know my name?
I know a lot about you. You'll find your guns out on the road. Come on, Tonto.
Let's get our guns. We'll go after him.
Wait. Now that we know who we're going after, let's get a posse so big that we can't miss finding them.
It's a good idea, Ruby. I'll track these killers down if I have to deputize every man in the county. Let's go.
This is far enough, Tonto. They can't follow us here.
That plenty close call, Kemo Sabe.
Yes, but well worth it. Now we know Ruby is working with the gang.
We do?
Yes. She gave herself away when she asked if Pittman was dead when we found him. If she believed we killed him, she wouldn't have asked such a question.
Her know us innocent, but her still accuse us.
Exactly. There's something else, too. If she kept Pittman busy all the time, he couldn't have been working with the hooded gang without her knowing it.
Me understand, but that's not proof enough for Sheriff.
I'm afraid not, especially when he's convinced that we did the killing.
What we do?
We're going to use Ruby to track down the whole gang.
That mean you have plan?
Yes, Tonto. As soon as things quiet down, I'm going to have a talk with Ruby Queston.
Of course, business is bad. The posse's got all my customers, but I'm glad of it.
That was sure slick of you, boss. Having McNeil and half the county out after that masked hombre. We can sure laugh at them all.
I'd laugh a lot more convincing if I was sure they'd catch him.
Well, how can they miss with that big a posse?
You wouldn't say that if you'd seen that critter in action. Flack, he's the fastest moving man I ever saw.
Ruby, what do you got to worry about?
Nothing, except he must be pretty sore at me for pinning a murder on him.
I've been accused of murder before, Ruby. Don't reach, Flack.
Masked man.
How'd you get in here?
I'm here. That's the important thing.
What do you want?
Well, since Bill's dead, I figured you could use a good gunslinger around here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you do, Ruby. Or should I call you boss like Flack does?
You got a nerve sneaking in here and...
Shut up, Flack. Stop beating around the bush and say what you mean.
I told you Bill Pittman wasn't dead when we got to him. Remember?
Well, what about?
He talked before he died.
Huh?
Wasn't very smart of him to quit your gang, was it, Ruby?
You didn't say anything about all this morning.
What did you expect me to do with the sheriff standing there? You'd be a lot safer with me on your side. How about it?
You want to work for me, is that it?
Why do you think I came here?
No, you're too hot. Half the county's after you.
Nobody's ever seen my face, have they?
Well, that's true enough. I must admit I like the way you handled McNeil this morning.
Don't worry. I can make myself useful.
How about that Injun pal of yours? Is he in on this, too?
He's outside, and just as anxious to join the gang as I am.
All right. I'll take a chance on you, mister. But remember, I'm running this outfit, and don't you ever forget it.
Anything you say, Ruby.
All right, put your gun away. Go and get your Injun friend. I'll hide you out at the ranch until this cools down.
I knew someone smart was bossing this outfit. I'll be right back.
You're a fool to trust him.
Who says I trust him? I want nothing to do but pretend to go along.
And you're not going to let him join the gang?
No, they're too dangerous. When you and Dusty show him the way out to the ranch, you're also going to show him how it feels to get a bullet in the back.
Hey, wait a minute.
What's the matter, Flack?
Posse's swarming all over this section. We got to take it easy. We better get off here.
You mean we're going to head on foot?
Yeah. We better scout out ahead. I don't want to take any chances.
All right. Hey, Flack. How close is the ranch?
Just about as close as you're going to get, Mr. Reach.
You two, Injun.
What's the idea?
You're a fool to think you could blackmail your way into the gang. Ruby doesn't go for things like that.
If you do any shooting, you'll bring the posse swarming down on your neck.
So what? It's you galoots are after, not us. Drop your guns. That goes for you, too. Drop them! You had Ruby figured all wrong. Kick it over here, huh?
Like bad accident.
You didn't help Dusty's appearances either. Nice work, Tonto. You'll both look a lot better in jail.
You haven't got anything on us. Show word against ours, and who's gonna believe you?
Since it's obvious Ruby sent you to kill us, I know just what to do about that. Take off your shirts.
Huh?
What are you going to do? We're going to tie you up and escort you into town.
What do you want our shirts for?
I'm going to present them to the sheriff with your compliments. Now take them off. Hurry it up.
I just hate wasting the time, that's all.
We don't stand a prayer till the moon comes out. And besides, Mac, the boys need a rest.
I know it. But what beats me is how those two could just disappear.
Maybe you're not looking in the right place, Sheriff.
You!
Don't draw. Deputy, over there.
You got a gall coming here. What are you after?
I'm after the leader of the hooded gang, and you're going to help me.
You must be crazy.
I can change your mind about that, too, Sheriff. Put these on.
These are hoods.
I know. I want you properly dressed when we go calling.
I wouldn't be a party to anything like that.
Yes, you will, Sheriff. And while you're changing clothes, I'll explain things. That's better. See, Sheriff, from the start, you've had me wrong. I'm on the side of the law. My brother happened to be a Texas Ranger.
It's about time. What took you so... What are you bringing him back here for?
We decided to do it this way.
You decided? Who are you to decide anything? Take them hoods off before anybody sees you and get him out of here.
No, you're handling this one.
What's the matter with you? What's gotten into you?
We've been taking the risk and doing the killing. It's time you got your hands dirty.
So that's why you brung him back.
Yeah.
Ain't you a little mixed up, Flack? I'm the one that does the deciding and the thinking around here. Now take that guy out of here and finish him off like I told you to.
I told you she was afraid to do her own killing, Flack.
Afraid? Oh, so you're the one that started this. You fools, can't you see he's playing for time? Me afraid of killing? I suppose you forgot that I'm the one that plugged the guy on the Layton stage. And who took care of the bank teller at Red Gap? Well, answer me.
Have you heard enough, Sheriff?
Sheriff?
Yes, Ruby.
Sheriff McNeil.
And I'm arresting you for the murders you just confessed. You walked right into a trap set by my masked friend here.
Friend?
Best friend the law ever had. And if you're wondering what happened to your men, the Indians got them tied up outside. All right, Ruby. You're heading for jail. Well, now that the hooded gang is rounded up, this town can be a credit to the West again. I can't even start to thank you.
That's all right, Sheriff.
Yeah, I hope you forgive me for thinking you were on the wrong side of the law. After all, I didn't know who you were then.
Appearances were against me. But as Ruby knows now, appearances can be deceptive. We have to be on our way. Nice working with you, Sheriff.
Sure you won't stay? The whole town will want to thank you for what you've done.
Afraid we can't. Tonto and I have work elsewhere. Adios.
Goodbye, man.
A masked man on the side of the law? I don't get it, Mac.
I didn't get it either until he gave me that bullet.
You know, it didn't make any difference to me, but it sure changed your mind in a hurry.
Sure did. When I saw that bullet was silver, I knew there was a man who's almost become a legend. Alan? He's the Lone Ranger.
Be with the Lone Ranger and Tonto same time next week for new dangers in another thrill-packed adventure. The Lone Ranger rides again.
fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Yes, Jim, I'm real sorry. But the express company just sent an order through that they can't be financially responsible for any more shipments that are lost. The sheriff's done his best, but...
Yeah, I heard you were having Indian trouble, but I didn't know it was that serious.
Well, 3 stages were held up last month. And those thieving redskin Paiutes made clean getaways every time, too.
I always thought the Paiutes were a peaceful tribe.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's the Paiutes as a whole that are doing the robbing. Just a few renegades, I expect, but what they've been getting away with is costing the express company a lot of money.
Yeah, I see, but Paiutes or no Paiutes, this money's got to get to that bank in Carsonville. It's to pay off the loan on my ranch.
Of course. But you understand, in case of an Indian attack, the express company can't be held responsible.
I understand.
Huh. This sounds like the stage for Carsonville now. Right on time, too. Well, Jim, if you give me the money, I'll count it and make out a receipt.
I think I'll take a ticket on that stage instead. I'll just ride along with the money myself.
Well, that's up to you, but as a passenger, you know you'll have to pay full fare.
Well, it's worth a lot more than the price of a ticket to see that this money gets to that bank.
I'll get your ticket. Here you are, Jim. Well, gotta get the mail aboard. Howdy, Pete. Looks like you're right on schedule today.
Yeah, making pretty good time, Mr. Mason.
Where's Matt? Isn't he supposed to be riding shotgun to Carsonville with you today?
Yeah, I'm picking him up at the edge of town, Mr. Mason.
Ah. Well, did you see any Paiutes along the way?
Nope, nary a one.
Good. Well, that's good news, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like you'd be riding alone.
Oh, I don't mind.
Well, good luck. All right, Pete, take it away.
Come on, Butch.
Did you hear?
As plain as if we'd been in the room with you.
Then you know what to do.
Yeah. We'll take the back trail cut off. That'll give us plenty of time to get ready.
Good. Very good.
We'll look the area over as soon as we've eaten, Tonto.
Me plenty hungry. We ride a long way to get here.
I'm sorry we couldn't have made it before those last holdups.
If report's true, Kemo Sabe, Indians to blame for holdups. What good 2 men against whole tribe?
I never trust hearsay, Tonto. I want to check the facts for myself.
You think report's not true?
That's what I'm down here to find out. This territory won't be safe until those outlaws are captured.
And that's why we camp near Stagecoach Road?
Yes, Tonto. Since most of the holdups have taken place in this vicinity, we'll trail a few of the coaches just in case those outlaws strike again.
Come on, Brownie, go! Go, down there. Get up!
I just dragged a big log across the road and blocked it.
And the stage can't drive around without stopping?
There's not a chance of it.
Good. Shouldn't be long now.
Hey, listen, Bart, don't you think Mason's overworking this Indian business? Army's liable to start investigating and find out it ain't Paiutes who are sticking up the stages.
How are they going to find out it ain't Injuns? In these get-ups, nobody will recognize us.
I know, but there's...
I'll quit worrying. As long as someone else is being blamed for the robberies, nobody will suspect us. And we're in the clear.
Well, maybe you're right.
Here's the stage coming. Put our war paint back in the saddlebags. Hey, Ed, hurry up.
Oh, baby. Now, how in the tarnation did that brush get there? Wait a minute, I'll get it.
Get ready to go into your act. Come on.
Paiutes.
Tonto, gunfire.
Come from north.
Let's go.
You, throw down gun.
Sure, Injun. Anything you say.
Rifle, too. You got what? Money I want.
You dirty thieving redskin. Oh, no, you don't.
Get Branch off road. You go fast. No look back.
Sure. Anything you say, Injun.
Now go. No stop.
Is all the money there?
You bet it is.
Good. Let's get off these Indian rigs and get out of here.
You're forgetting their guns. Some smart sheriff might think it's strange Indians didn't take them with them.
Yeah, you're right. Come on, let's go.
I don't know what you're always so worried about. All right. Come on.
Look, Kemo Sabe.
Something's wrong, Tonto. The stage is going too fast.
Too late, mister. The Paiutes just got through robbing us.
I see your guard's been hurt.
Yeah, he's dead. Them murdering Paiutes shot my passenger, too.
Masked, huh? More robbers. Well, there's nothing left to take. The Indians cleaned us out.
Maybe I can do something to help you. You'd better come out here and sit down. Take it easy, fella.
I'll be all right. You might as well shove on. You just wasted your time and energy stopping us.
Tonto, you'd better bring one of our canteens. You're jumping to the wrong conclusion, mister. My Indian friend and I came to investigate some gunfire and offer help.
Is the fella hurt bad?
He's lucky. The bullet just grazed his shoulder.
Lucky, huh? After I've been robbed of every cent that I've saved up?
You say it was Indians who held you up?
You bet it was Indians, Paiutes. Them sneaking redskins ambushed us back down the road.
You sure them Paiutes?
Nobody could mistake them in their war paint.
I see. The doctor should look at your passenger's wound. I don't think it's serious, but there's no sense in taking any unnecessary chances.
You mean we're free to go on to Carsonville?
Why, certainly. The sooner you get there, the sooner the sheriff can round up a posse and go after the men who held you up. You'd better hurry.
Sure, right away. Right away, mister.
Well, I don't understand.
Perhaps you will the next time we meet. All right, driver. Take her away.
Help!
You really think it Paiutes who hold up stage, Kemo Sabe?
It's hard for me to believe that, Tonto. Paiutes respect the peace treaty they have signed. They're proud of their status as law-abiding people.
And that's right, but drivers say him sure it Paiutes who robbed him.
Yes, he was quite positive. The driver also said they were ambushed back down the road. I think we should go there and look around.
And maybe we can find trail there of Indian horses.
Come on. Right here, Tonto. This looks like the scene of the holdup.
Marks in soft dirt show that big branch used to block road.
Perhaps we can pick up the outlaws' trail.
Tracks show men go that way. Kemo Sabe. We find tracks of horses used by men who robbed stagecoach.
These tracks are made by horses wearing shoes.
Ah, but Indian horses not wear shoes.
Tonto, I want you to ride to the Paiute camp. Find out from Lone Eagle if any of his braves have left his village to turn renegade. Then meet me back at our camp later.
What you do now?
I'm going to see the express agent in town. He may be able to give us some information. Let's go.
Who are you?
My name wouldn't mean anything to you.
But the mask.
I have good reasons for concealing my identity.
Oh, an outlaw, then.
I didn't come here for gunplay.
Well, then what did you come here for?
I came to report the stage to Carsonville was held up and robbed.
What?
Your guard was killed and the passenger wounded.
Oh, this is terrible. This is awful.
I came here to find out if you could give me some help.
Help you?
I've heard reports that Indians have been holding up your stages.
Yes.
Do you think Paiutes are behind these attacks?
Of course I do. I have eyewitness reports from passengers as well as my guards and drivers.
White men could easily disguise themselves.
What do you mean?
I have reason to believe that Paiutes are not guilty of the attacks on the stages.
Oh? What makes you think so?
The men who attacked the stages today may have worn Paiute war paint and clothes, but I think they were white men.
Have you any proof?
No real proof. But I found hoof prints of their horses.
What? Are you trying to say that from a hoof print of a horse you can tell whether a white man or an Indian's been riding it?
Not exactly. But the horses ridden by the men who held up the stage today wore iron shoes. Indian horses aren't shod.
Hey, that's true. Then you believe crooks are trying to blame their work on Indians?
Do. The men behind these attacks must be found. Unless they're exposed, a serious Indian war may result.
What you said is possible. I'll report this to the sheriff. He'll probably want to talk to you, too. Where can he find you?
I'll be camped near the big gray rock on the stagecoach road to Carsonville.
I know the place. I'll tell him.
Thank you.
Well, we're back safe and sound. And quite a bit richer, too.
Yeah.
What's the matter, boss? You look worried.
I am. A man went out that back door just before you came in. He suspects it isn't Paiutes that are attacking the stages. And if he keeps on talking, he's going to start a lot of people thinking.
Who is he?
Someone wearing a mask.
A mask?
Yeah. And plenty handy with these guns, too. I don't think I'd like trading shots with him.
What are we going to do? If he keeps checking up, he's bound to find out the truth.
He will if he's given the chance. But it's up to us to see that he doesn't get that chance.
What do you mean, boss?
I mean we've got to kill him and waste no time about it.
We'll leave the horses here.
Boy said he'd be behind those rocks. Yeah, come on and be quiet.
Oh, easy. What's the matter, boy?
Oh, the shoe. Yes, but I can get him.
Crossfire. We'd better get out of here.
We'll make a run for the horses. Come on.
Kemo Sabe, them hit you?
No, Tonto. Thanks to Silver.
Who men who tried to shoot you?
I don't know. I didn't see their faces.
Maybe them see masks and think you outlaw.
It's possible, but I doubt it. Honest lawmen wouldn't have fired first without giving me a chance to surrender.
Well, that too. Me get horses, we try to follow.
No, Tonto. If my suspicions are correct, we can locate them later. I want to hear what Lone Eagle had to say.
Lone Eagle say no braves from his tribe rob stages. Him give his word as chief of all Paiutes.
Lone Eagle's an honest man. His word is to be trusted. Tonto, only one person beside yourself knew where I could be found. I talked with that man in town.
Who that, Kemo Sabe?
The express agent for the stage company.
You think maybe him rob his own stages?
I have no proof that'll stand up in court. There may be a way to get him to show his hand and get the proof we need.
How we do that?
I'll need a little gold dust first. You buy it with this.
Me go to Gold King Mine. It's not far from here.
It's a good idea. The foreman's an old friend of ours, George Briggs. You can get it from him.
Now, what do you do with gold dust?
It's to be bait, Tonto. I'll put on a disguise and pay a little visit to the stage office.
Fools, you stupid, blundering fools!
We couldn't help it, boss. Like we said, along came some other hombre and started pumping lead at us. We were caught in a crossfire.
Now, now that you've bungled the job, we've got to be extra careful. We've got to...
Howdy, gentlemen.
Howdy, mister. What can I do for you? These men won't mind waiting.
That mighty fine of them. Thank you, gents.
Don't mention it.
Well?
We want a ticket on the stage to Carsonville. You take cost out of pouch.
Ah, looks like you've done all right with your prospecting.
Yeah, only do all right.
Well, don't you think it's a bit dangerous for you to be carrying all this gold around with you? You know you might be held up.
What I got here, only sample. There are plenty more sacks like that, filled to the drawstrings in my shack near Red Canyon Mine.
Here's your gold. And here's your ticket on the Carsonville stage. Leaves here tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock.
Thank you, mister. Since this be last night in town, only have lots of celebrating to do. Have plenty fun. Well, thank you, mister. Goodbye, gents.
Well, it looks like Ed and I have another date with the Carsonville stage.
No, Bart, no. I don't think we should risk that now. Not with that masked man around suspecting the truth.
You mean we're not going to go after that gold?
I didn't say that. I just think you and Ed should keep your Indian war paint in your saddlebags for a while. Oh, don't worry. I want that gold just as much as you two. But I think I know a safer way of getting it than attacking the stage again.
How, boss?
Well, you heard the Swede say he was spending the night in town celebrating, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the rest of the gold is in his shack.
Near Red Canyon Mine.
Don't worry, boss. We'll get that gold. There's nothing easier than robbing somebody when they're not at home. Come on, Ed.
You think men come, Kemo Sabe?
I only hope I played my part well enough to make them believe there is gold there, with little risk of being caught.
We'll leave the horses here just in case the Swede came back.
Yeah.
There's no one here.
Come on, we can bring it in.
Start looking.
I wonder how long it'd take them to find gold pouches.
I don't think it'll be long, Tonto. Men are attracted to gold as ants are to sugar.
I found it. Oh, they're full, too, just like the old man said.
Yeah, come on, let's get out of here. The boss is waiting.
They've taken the bait, Tonto. Come on.
those horses of 2 men we follow?
Yes, Tonto. That's the express office. Those men have done just as I hoped they would.
What we do?
You find the sheriff. Tell him you think 2 men are holding up the express office. Tell him to come quickly. I'll see that no one leaves.
Me do.
Well, looks like you two did all right this time.
It was easy.
Anybody see you?
Nope, no one was around.
Good. Now, you get on down to the cafe. Let people see you, just in case the sheriff starts checking up tomorrow on where people were tonight.
Right. See you tomorrow, boys.
I wouldn't do that, mister. I'll reach for that gun.
What do you mean coming in and you're holding a gun on us?
Where did you get those gold pouches?
They're mine.
I don't think they are. But if they are yours, of course you know what's in them.
Sure I do. Gold dust.
Sure it is. I'll show you. Sand. It's only sand.
Stole those pouches from the cabin of a prospector. Howdy, gentlemen. You want the ticket on the stage to Carsonville?
You.
That's right.
But who's going to take your word against mine? You have no proof.
I know those Indian outfits your men have been using won't be hard to find.
You stay there.
I'll take care of that, Mason.
Looks like Kemo Sabe take care of other 2.
So these are the wigs and clothes they used when they were holding up the stages, eh?
That's right. Me even find Paiute war paint in saddlebags.
Well, Sheriff, there'll be no more attacks on the stages to Carsonville now.
I don't guess there will be, since I got those murdering coyotes locked up in my jail, thanks to you and your Indian friend. But you know, I don't understand how you knew Mason was behind all these robberies.
I suspected him after an attempt was made to ambush me, but I had no proof.
Then you baited a trap with gold dust, huh?
Yes, his greed was his undoing. Well, Tonto and I must be on our way. I know you'll see that justice is done.
You bet I will. And don't worry about the man that you wounded. The doc's gonna fix him up so he'll be able to stand trial with his friends.
Good. Adios.
Goodbye.
So long. Say, I forgot to thank the masked man for helping me get my money back.
He and his Indian friend never stay around long enough to let people thank him the way that they want to. I know, because I sure owe him a lot.
Well, I'll always be grateful to him and that Indian.
You're not the first one to say that about the masked man. He's the Lone Ranger.
Be with the Lone Ranger and Tonto same time next week for new dangers in another thrill-packed adventure. The Lone Ranger rides again.